Yes, Spencer. We have another tariff-related development coming our viewers' way. US President Donald Trump has issued a firm warning to countries aligning with BRICS. In a post on Truth Social, Trump said any nation supporting what he called, quote, anti-American policies of the bloc will face an extra 10% tariff with no exceptions. He did not clarify which policies he was referring to, but the message was clear. Alignment with BRICS, pay the price. The original BRICS group, Brazil, Russia, India, China and South Africa, has expanded rapidly in recent years. Last year, the bloc welcomed new members, including Egypt, Ethiopia, Indonesia, Iran, Saudi Arabia and the UAE. Trump's statement comes amid growing global divide between Western allies and emerging multilateral groups like BRICS. We're once again joined by Spencer Critchley. Spencer, what does this mean? Obviously, the BRICS nations have met together with the absence of Chinese President Xi Jinping. I believe Russian President Vladimir Putin joined by phone call or video call. But what does this mean for BRICS, and what kind of statements were said last night at this conference that has triggered this? Anti-American policies, what might they be that Trump is referring to?
Well, to the extent that BRICS is trying to arrange a counterbalance to the order that the United States has led for so long, you can call that anti-American or you can call it competition. And the response to that competition, once again in this case, amounts to holding the American people hostage by threatening to raise tariffs, which again are attacks on the American people. Now, I think it's sometimes effective to take a firm position where you see a competitive threat, and there have been criticisms made of previous administrations in the past that sometimes have some merit, that, for example, they might have been a little too lenient with China over things like theft of intellectual property or government subsidies of their corporations and their exports, leading to unfair advantages. But the United States has been able to deal with issues like that very successfully within the international system that's existed since the end of World War II. And I often wonder, what is the problem precisely that Donald Trump thinks he's fixing, which really amounts to incredible success. I think anybody living in another country looking at the United States must be baffled to hear this constant complaining about how the United States is supposedly being victimized by countries all over the world, when the United States is the wealthiest, most powerful country in the history of the world. And very often when world powers meet to discuss trade, of course, it's possible for the United States to have legitimate complaints about the behavior of other nations, and sometimes those complaints are well-founded. But very often, of course, it's other countries trying to cope with the overwhelming power and influence of the United States. And again, even from the purely self-centered focus here in the United States, what is the problem being fixed? I mean, the incredible success, the incredible wealth that's been generated in this country, not always shared fairly, of course, within the country, is without parallel in the entire history of the world.
Yes, Spencer, apologies, we have a technical issue there. Spencer, I just want to ask one more question in that regard, but we're running out of time, so a quick answer. We have the BRICS meeting yesterday, which was significant. We had comments on the Middle East, including strikes on Iran by the United States. We also had a very strong statement from Brazilian President Lula da Silva condemning Israel's actions in Gaza. Do you think these statements are the reason for these 10% extra tariffs coming on to these BRICS nations, and bearing in mind that the BRICS does contain members, strong allies of the United States, like India? What are your thoughts, just quickly?
Yeah, from what I can see, based on President Trump's comments, his main concern is the threat to the United States dollar, based on comments by the BRICS nations that they want to establish an alternative to the United States dollar as a reserve currency. That's the kind of thing that gets Donald Trump's attention, money, in other words, and also the symbolic aspect of money in this case. Anything that threatens what he sees as the #1 role of the United States, he does not like at all. So I doubt if it goes much farther than that in this case.
Spencer, thank you. You are staying with us.